A chunk of uranium the size of a soda can could power a city for a week. A piece of coal the same size, it'll keep a light bulb on for about 4 minutes. That's not an exaggeration, that's just how insanely concentrated this metal is. 1 gram of uranium, fully used, releases roughly the same energy as burning 3 tons of coal. 3 tons from a single gram. And here's the part that really messes with your head. This stuff has been quietly sitting in rocks under your feet since before Earth even had an atmosphere. Right now, whether you know it or not, uranium is touching your life. About 1 in every 5 homes in America gets power from it. Your hospital's cancer treatments, the smoke detector on your ceiling, even the way scientists figure out how old a dinosaur bone is, all of it traces back to this one element. And with countries racing to cut carbon emissions, uranium is quietly becoming one of the most fought over resources on the planet again. This isn't some dusty science topic. This is happening in your neighborhood right now, whether you notice it or not. Uranium didn't start as a power source. For most of human history, nobody even knew it existed. It was first identified in 1789 by a German chemist named Martin Klaproth, who found it in a black mineral called pitchblende. He named it after the planet Uranus, which had just been discovered 8 years earlier. Scientists were on a bit of a space naming streak. But here's where it gets interesting. For over 100 years after that, uranium was basically useless. People used it to tint glass, yellow-green, and color ceramic glazes orange. That's it. Grandma's antique glassware might have literally been radioactive and nobody thought twice about it. Everything changed in 1896, when a French physicist named Henri Becquerel accidentally discovered radioactivity using uranium salts. He'd left some uranium sitting on top of a photographic plate in a drawer, expecting nothing, and came back to find the plate had been exposed, fogged, like it had been hit with light, except it had been sitting in the dark the whole time. That accident cracked open an entirely new branch of physics. Then, in 1938, German scientists Otto Hahn and Fritz Strassmann split a uranium atom for the first time, a process called nuclear fission, and the world quietly changed forever. Within 7 years, that discovery would lead to both the first nuclear reactors and the first atomic weapons. One element, one glass-making curiosity, 2 of the most consequential technologies in human history. Okay, so what actually makes uranium so powerful? It comes down to something happening at a scale so small it's almost unfair to call it small. We're talking about the nucleus of an atom. Think of a uranium atom like an incredibly overstuffed suitcase. It's got 92 protons and well over 100 neutrons all crammed into one impossibly tiny space, and they do not want to be there. The forces holding that nucleus together are stretched to their absolute limit. It's basically the most unstable heavy atom that occurs naturally in any real quantity on Earth. Now here's the trick. If you fire a stray neutron at just the right uranium atom, specifically a version called uranium-235, that nucleus doesn't just absorb it and stay calm. It splits violently. It breaks into 2 smaller atoms, releases a burst of energy, and, this is the important part, spits out 2 or 3 more neutrons in the process. And those neutrons, they go on to hit other uranium atoms, which split, which release more neutrons, which hit more atoms. You end up with what's called a chain reaction, and if you control it carefully, you get a steady, massive stream of heat, which is exactly what a nuclear power plant uses to boil water, make steam, and spin a turbine. It's honestly kind of hilarious when you think about it. The most advanced energy technology humans have ever built is, at its core, just a really, really fancy way of boiling water. But here's what genuinely surprises most people. Nuclear fission from uranium releases about 2 million times more energy per atom than burning a molecule of coal or oil. 2 million times. That's not a rounding error. That's the entire reason uranium can power a city from something the size of a pill. And the second surprise? Only about 0.7% of natural uranium is that special fissile type, uranium-235. The rest, over 99%, is uranium-238, which doesn't split easily at all. Before uranium can even be used in most reactors, it has to be enriched, meaning that tiny, useful fraction gets concentrated up. Nature buried the good stuff in a massive haystack, and humans had to figure out how to find the needle. All right, rapid fire, 5 facts about uranium that are going to sound completely made up, but every one of them is real. Number 1, uranium is actually more common than silver. It's found in trace amounts almost everywhere, including in the soil in your backyard, in seawater, and yes, even in your own body right now, in tiny, harmless amounts. Number 2, nearly 2 billion years ago, in what's now Gabon, in West Africa, a natural uranium deposit spontaneously started a nuclear fission reaction all on its own. No humans, no reactor, no technology. Just the right conditions in the rock, and nature accidentally built a nuclear reactor underground that ran for hundreds of thousands of years. Number 3, bananas are slightly radioactive because of potassium, and if you compare radiation doses, you'd need to eat roughly 20 million bananas in one sitting to get the same dose as sitting near an unshielded chunk of enriched uranium. Radiation from everyday things is real, but it's almost always tiny compared to what people imagine. Number 4, uranium glass, the antique glassware people made way back in the 1800s, still glows an eerie bright green under UV blacklight today, and antique collectors actively hunt for it because of that glow. And number 5, the uranium in the ground beneath the United States alone is estimated to contain enough energy, if fully used, to power the entire country for decades. We are quite literally standing on a fraction of an answer to the global energy crisis, and most people have no idea it's down there. Here's the angle almost nobody talks about. Uranium isn't just a fuel, it's basically a time capsule. Because uranium decays at an extremely precise, unchanging rate, scientists use it to date some of the oldest objects on Earth, including the planet itself. The 4.5 billion year age of Earth. We know that number specifically because of uranium decay measurements in ancient rocks and meteorites. The same element that can power a city or end a war is also the reason we know how old our own planet is. It's simultaneously one of the most destructive and most quietly informative substances humans have ever studied. A single element sitting at the intersection of energy, weapons, medicine, and deep time itself. So next time someone says uranium is just that scary radioactive stuff, you'll know the real story. It's a glass-making curiosity turned accidental atom splitter, turned the most energy-dense material humans have ever gotten our hands on, quietly buried in dirt all over the planet since before life even existed. Kind of wild that something this powerful spent 100 years just making pretty glass. So, here's my question for you. Would you want a nuclear power plant built near your town, knowing what you now know? Drop your honest answer in the comments, I actually read them. And if this kind of deep dive into everyday things messed with your brain a little, hit subscribe. This channel does this every single week.